These are the stories
My little girl, she's changing lives just by being herself.
of organizations and people making a difference.
When you first tell someone about adaptive wheelchair boxing, it doesn't sound real.
And empowering others.
It saved my life. It saved my life.
Across Canada.
I scored my first goal in my first blind hockey game.
In our community.
HART is a hub. There's 10,000 square feet of a lot of energy of people who have faced challenges, physical and neurodiverse disabilities.
Situated in the center of Kingston, Ontario, is the HART Centre, spelled H''ART. It's a community hub and a leader for the inclusive arts movement in Canada.
I'm Catherine Porter. I'm the Executive Director and Founding Director of the HART Centre, and I've been here since the start 25 years ago. 25 years ago, I came to Kingston and a friend of mine came to visit, and he has Down syndrome, and David was very instrumental in a lot of the work that I did in Ottawa. The long and short of it is he knew more about my art than I did. He could tell people what was good or what was successful and what wasn't. And he did his own work. He was very impressionistic and he was critical that, you know, some of my faces just didn't have two eyes, a nose, and a mouth because that wasn't my style. But the fact that he even noticed gave me all the reason to sort of see how many other people with neurodiversity could actually explore. David came into my life and I realized there's a whole population here that I'm learning so much from and having so much fun with that why not keep on going? HART began with 15 and, you know, now we have over 50. So it's been a journey, and I would credit David with the primary inspiration. The beautiful thing about HART Centre is that there's an exchange of ideas.
My name is Christine Griffin, and I like coming to HART. It's a picture of me right there.
It has 3 spaces, the mix, the studio, and the box. The mix is starting to grow and do outreach. There's a relationship we created with the Marine Museum. And at the Marine Museum, we had art, we had opportunity to learn more, and they had lots of opportunity to learn more as well. So it was a beautiful relationship for 1 year.
My name is Michelle Clairvat. I am the Programs and Communications Manager at the Marine Museum of the Great Lakes at Kingston. The Marine Museum of the Great Lakes at Kingston is all about connecting people with the maritime heritage of Kingston and the Great Lakes. I mean, it's about connecting people as much as possible with the water through exhibits, programs, events, and everything in between. The exhibit is a collaboration that's kind of a year in the making, actually. It's all about commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Great Lakes Water Quality Agreement, and as a way of increasing access to museum programs. We saw HART Centre as an opportunity to bring arts into it, to engage with the community. About the autumn of 2021, I approached Catherine Porter at HART Centre and asked her if she'd be interested in doing some museum programs with her students. And so being able to expand, as I say, museum programs and increase access to our programs meant that we could engage with a whole new audience in a very creative way. I've worked with HART Centre for a few times now. I started a long time ago as a volunteer. Very encouraged and inspired by the different work that they do and how open they are in trying to create community access to the arts. I've really enjoyed working with HART in that respect and getting really creative with how we can engage people in a different way. And it doesn't just simply have to be this, you know, visual, static piece. It can be very engaging, it can be moving. And so I was very, very much inspired and moved by what they created in terms of the water performance. What their artists took from that year and created is so moving. The art installation, the way it was originally conceived and conceptualized, was always to be a diorama-style art installation. By the end of the summer, we had so many incredible different pieces that were all kind of they all connected in various different ways. You're seeing the first week of artwork that we did, which was about Indigenous history. And so we learned about the waterways and how their significance for Indigenous peoples. And then each week you're seeing across the wall various engagement bubbles that are helping to tie in what you're seeing with what we did in that particular week, and then also asking those open-ended questions of what do you see and what are your connection with this particular topic. What you're seeing is, I truly strongly believe, is a great way of connecting with the waterways and getting people to stop and think about what they're seeing on their adventures along the water. We very much see this as an opportunity to continue to bring the arts into our programs and continue to be able to connect people in that way.
The participants in all cases, whatever ability they had, got to learn about so many different aspects of the Marine Museum, so many aspects of just how the word water can translate and transform in dance or in music or in storytelling or in visual arts. And so the Heart Center itself just sort of captures all of those things.
Our community will return after the break. We now return to our community.
My favorite thing coming to Heart is seeing all the stuff.
The Heart Center features different programs. One of those programs is called Mixabilities. It is a training program designed to enhance access to the arts by ensuring that artists and educators are trained to effectively support participants with disabilities.
Mixabilities is something that came into my life, I'd say about 5-6 years ago, when I realized that there were great artists who were able-bodied and interested in learning from the studio artists. And it occurred to me that they had no idea how to walk into a classroom and prepare themselves and introduce themselves even to gain the confidence of the participants and encourage them to do their very best. And before long, I had a team of about 10 people contributing ideas on how we could help arts educators and artists get up to speed on how to work with the neurodiverse population. We offer it to our volunteers, we offer it to our field placement, our student placements coming from Queens and St. Lawrence, and we offer it to artists who I think would be really interested in working with this population on larger projects.
In terms of being able to live independently.
My name is Andrea Fitzgerald, and I am the General Operations Manager here at Heart Center. Today, I had the pleasure of running a Mixabilities Inclusive Arts training seminar for a number of community members, including some community artists who will be joining us as new guest instructors and a couple of new volunteers who are going to be starting at Heart in the very near future. In the 25 years now that we've been in operation, we've been fortunate enough to work with literally hundreds of community artists, volunteers, and placement students, introducing them to Heart and to our artist participants and to our method of working with individuals with intellectual disabilities and neurodiversities. And so the Mixabilities training was born in 2018 as a set of 6 modules that we deliver to anybody who's coming to work with us, whether it's as a volunteer, as a placement student, or as an instructor. And it's an ever-evolving, ever-changing set of modules as our best practices evolve, as research and information on neurodiversity changes and evolves. We help anybody who's coming to start with us learn how to empathetically and effectively support individuals with intellectual disabilities and neurodiversity as they take their creative journey in the arts. I actually started here in 2018 officially as an employee. My association with Heart goes back far longer as I have a family member who is here as a participant and who has been here since Catherine Porter first opened the doors in 1998. So I've always been a supporter. I've always been on the periphery, sort of as an audience member and as somebody who has seen what Heart has done over the years. And when the opportunity came to work here, I definitely jumped at it.
I'm Allison, and I'm taking part in the Heart Studios Mixabilities training session. I'm a retired secondary school physical education and music teacher. And a friend of mine reached out to me asking, after hearing my band play at a local club, if I would be interested in doing some music, specifically singing instruction with the participants at Heart. And so that's why I'm here. I'll be running a workshop, hopefully programming for vocal music, and hopefully we will create some sort of piece of music. I've had some phenomenal experiences with mixed abilities over my entire teaching career, and it's probably one of the most fulfilling experiences.
Hi, my name is Ben, and I'm taking part in the Mixabilities training today. Oh, it's really fulfilling. It's really fun. The guys, the participants are, you know, they're hilarious and it makes you happy, I guess. Good feelings.
My name is Katie Bala, and I am helping out with the Mixabilities training at Heart Center. I have been a volunteer at Heart for a number of years and really enjoyed my time. The last time I took the training previously, it was a small group, and I guess Andrea had appreciated having people who engaged in conversation, and so she asked me to come and help with this one.
One of the things that we really want to try and stress is that the artists here, the participants, are artists in their own right. We want them to be advancing their artistic practice.
When I come to Heart as a volunteer, I really enjoy being involved in the programs that they're offering participants, a chance to kind of engage with and work with the artist participants who are here, whether it's like in a dance or song kind of setting or in a visual arts kind of medium. The participants are incredible, and really just getting to see the art that they're doing come to life week to week is really a blessing.
I like the red caramel bird. It reminds me of my mom. And I worked very hard on it. And it brought my eyes to attention during the red caramel bird. Someone just bought my painting last night. Yeah, it feels really good.
We really want to help those who are feeling and have barriers in the classroom, or feel like they want to go beyond into post-secondary or wherever it is with their interest in the arts or their ability. We need to break that down and encourage that population there to say, we're going to help you. So if you're taking this class or you're seeing me standing in front of you, I want you to know that whatever I can do to give you the opportunity to stand on a stage or sing your song or write your play, I will. And that's the codicil that we sort of added on to the National Arts Center piece that we ended up giving to them. So it was an aha moment.
Our community will return after the break. We now return to our community.
We want to be happy here at Heart. We want to be smiling right from the start.
The greatest benefit that Heart has to the community is a place of safety. And a place of expression that is found nowhere else. I am Camille Spencer, and I am a dance artist, and I do workshops here at Heart. I started with doing the mixability training and then presenting some dance workshops with them, and then I've just been incorporated into lots of other into different projects along the way. In general, people tend to be sucked in whenever good music and lyrics and a movement is happening. There's just something natural, something in our bodies that really just want to be included. Today we were presenting a project called Water, and it was a workshop that we had started working on in the first of the year in January, and we were developing movement from their own movement vocabulary about the aesthetic of water, the feelings of water, environmental aspects of water, and how that comes through a physical sense, through a contemporary-based dance form. For me, the dance workshops is about the journey, and it's about the physical rewards in the moment, and not so much the going towards a outcome-based project. The outcome-based projects are good because it gives us a goal to accomplish, but the real reward in the dance workshops is the everyday social aspects that they get within the classroom, and then also being able to move physically and move in new ways that they maybe don't move on a regular basis. I really enjoy just seeing the rewards that they get on a daily basis and how over time they can work that physical goal as well as that creative goal. I have been able to learn a lot more about my own approach as an artist, of being really keen and decisive about the details and lesson planning. So in order to have a successful workshop with these participants, you have to have a really detailed outline of what you're going to do that day. I've been able to refine my teaching style and my teaching practice, as well as being surprised by their outcomes and their decisions. And I think something that I continue to learn about these artists is that they always surprise you, that you can't have any expectations.
What we really want to do is raise the profile of the deaf and disability arts in Kingston and beyond, and to help the artists that we work with every day have that voice, because at the end of the day, we all deserve that opportunity. And I know how excited all of the artists that I work with every day are to be here, and I want to see as many people as possible get that chance.
I have donors who are happy to support the advancement of artists with disabilities. Like I said before, the moment you meet this population, you can't help but think, what more is there for me to learn? You know, I'm so excited about it every day. Senator Bovee and I met, and she said, you know, Heart is a good example of bringing art and to those who have disabilities and making it really accessible. She was instrumental in suggesting, why don't you connect with other organizations across Canada?
I've known about Heart Centre, I think, just about back to its beginnings. I was here for the 20th anniversary, and I'm back today, and congratulate Heart and everybody involved in any way for the tremendous success of this organization for this last quarter century. There are 3 international languages. One is visual art, one is movement or dance. The third one is music. And Heart incorporates all of these. And everybody, with whatever our abilities or challenges or barriers are, have that inner soul to express. The way Heart integrates dance and music and visual art, I think, is stellar.
We've got lots to cover, 25 years, and I could go on for hours, and most of you know that I could.
I think Catherine is a visionary. She had that vision, she had that compassion, she had the knowledge, she had the drive, and she's created something that is absolutely magnificent. As a senator, much of my time has been taken trying to get my colleagues on Parliament Hill to understand the connections and interconnections of the arts with every sector of society. And I contend that wherever we are as organizations, as individuals, in our careers, wherever we are at a moment, culminates what we've worked on to that point, and it becomes a platform for us going forward. So what this 25th anniversary has accomplished, I think, is built very strong foundations for a platform that's going to go into all sorts of new directions and make even more positive connections through communities.
The access to the arts, that whole movement for the last 20 years, I'd say, is just starting to kick up. I can hardly wait to see what's going to happen. We've been advocating for more training, and that's the mixed abilities. That's another level of mixed abilities, moving into administrative levels to help everyone understand that, you know, there's some value to it.
I think Heart Center is a community arts hub that offers an opportunity for everybody to get involved. In the 25 years that we've been here, we have created as much as possible an inclusive community where we would like everybody to feel welcome and everybody to feel that they have something to contribute, something to learn, something to give. And I hope that's what Kingston feels that they have when they think of us and the arts community.
As we're moving into our 25th anniversary, it's like ripples after ripples after ripples. It's just amazing what's happened across Canada because everybody wants access to the arts. Everybody wants to show that they can be a part of the art scene.
Director Nick Appleton. Producers Nick Appleton, Tyler Cameron. Development producer Julia Lee. Editor Rob Christie. Camera Nick Appleton, Christian Cantaruti. Audio post Colin Caddies. Narrator Jim Van Horn. Integrated Describe video consultant M. Williams. Supervising producer Jennifer Johnson. Content development specialist Karen McGee. Manager programming Lisanne Gagne. Director Content Development and Production Kara Nye. Vice President Content Development and Operations John Melville. President and CEO David Arrington. Copyright 2023 Accessible Media Inc.
An AMI original production.